Friends, many Adventists are so happy talking about this sermon by Elder Danny Shelton.
This should be a wake-up call to pastors and members and literally everywhere. The Church of God is right now under attack by the devil. He's literally there to divide and destroy God's remnant church.
I am also happy about this sermon because it addresses one of the issues in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and it also talks about the truth concerning LGBT and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So friends, today we are going to watch some parts of the sermon and comment on them, right? So if it sounds like something you might be interested in, just stick around and watch this video to the end. Now, let's get started. You know, the world SDA Church is struggling with the issue of LGBT because there are some people in the church who are actively promoting and supporting the affirmation of these LGBT practices in the church, or let me say the affirmation of LGBT people in the church. The General Conference recently released a statement that SDA local churches and SDA institutions should not in any way promote the agenda of LGBT, or let me say in any way promote LGBT. I made video about this and you would find the link in this video's description. Now, why did the General Conference release that statement? Because they have realized that the issue of LGBT in the church is getting out of hand. Increasing number of people in the church and in Adventist institutions are actively promoting LGBT, which is against the church's official position on human sexuality. However, this Elder Danny Shelton, boldly preached the truth about LGBT and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So let's go ahead and listen to him.
So here we go. Romans 3:23 says, you say it with me, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. How many? All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Therefore, no one is perfect. Sorry to bust your bubbles. Thus, no one is exempt, right? The devil has succeeded in deceiving literally many in the church when it comes to the truth about sin and its consequences. It seems for many, sin is determined by today's culture and politics. You probably can guess, right? Okay. In fact, the Ten Commandments have taken a back seat to many in the church as they've made social justice their new religion. Then there are those who are either afraid to call sin by its right name for fear of the woke cancel culture group, or, have you ever heard that term? Or have been deceived into the religion of inclusion, diversity, race, equity, and so on.
I think this is so true. Some SDA pastors and even some SDA churches are afraid to call sin by its right name. They are afraid to say that LGBT is a sin. They are afraid to label LGBT as abomination, as the Bible tells it. And as a church, we cannot affirm open sin because we do not have the authority to do so. Let's continue with his sermon.
Now I want to say right off the bat, again, it's not my intention really to offend anyone. But as a Christian, I have to love people enough to tell them the truth. And so do you, right? I realize this may not be a popular message to some of you, but if we are a last-day remnant church, we cannot bow to present culture or politics. In other words, we cannot, as a church, affirm. Listen closely to this word. You're going to hear it several times today, and it's not by accident or because I didn't realize I'm being repetitious. This word, what word? Affirm. Okay? We cannot, as a church, affirm or accept into membership any person or group of people who are in open rebellion to the Ten Commandment law of God.
Now, friends, this is where he told the truth about LGBT and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Let's go ahead and listen to him.
The devil knows if he can divide and confuse the church on these issues right now, our people will already be so compromised to the point that they will fall like dominoes when it comes time to stand up against for a national Sunday law or any other end-time event. Am I right? This should be a wake-up call to pastors and members and literally everywhere. I'm amazed we have so many of our preachers who are so busy preaching about a coming national Sunday law that they seem oblivious to the threat, the biggest threat, I believe, to destroy the Christian church since the Dark Ages. Now, prophecy is great, right? But it was never given to take the place of present truth. Somebody said, well, this is present truth. Well, what do I mean by that statement? The present truth is this. The church of God is right now under attack by the devil. He's literally there to divide and destroy God's remnant church. Now, some of my pastor friends will be crying out that we should be looking for a national Sunday law as the big sign of end-time prophecy instead of being so concerned about abortion and same-sex marriage.
Thank you so much, Elder Danny Shelton, for telling us the present truth, for telling us this truth. Now, let's continue, and this is the bitter truth. Please listen carefully.
Now, we Seventh-day Adventists, we're really good to point to the Catholic Church and their openness to claim they have the authority to forgive sins. But the day that we as a church approve or endorse or affirm homosexual lifestyle or any other open sin, we too are guilty of claiming to forgive sins. And yet, somehow, our universities, our hospitals, people are buying into it big time. Now, I'm going to show you something. Here's an article written in 2012 where it shows La Sierra University would not affirm the LGBTQ, citing it would be against Adventist beliefs according to the Bible. That's good, right? That was 2012. Now let me fast forward to you to 2023. Not only did the university administration affirm, put it up on the screen, thank you, affirm LGBTQ students, but gave them a special lavender graduation service, as they call it, this past Sabbath of all days, and in the church. Now, do you think this event went unnoticed by heaven? Can you imagine in one of our schools, they had a special LGBTQ graduation, transgenders, the whole business, in the church on Sabbath. Now, our health system's already shown their acceptance and support publicly, including paving the way to the hiring of transgenders to serve in high positions in the SDA health system. Now, Pacific Union College, they openly affirm LGBTQ, and most of our colleges affirm LGBTQ clubs on campus. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think they would affirm an adulterers club on campus? I mean, I got to keep going back to this, folks, because we got to say, where in the world is the common sense, right? Do you think that maybe they would affirm an alcoholics club on campus? No, you guessed it. I don't think so either. Now, I'm convinced that Seventh-day Adventists who are silent on these topics are just as guilty as the ones promoting it.
Friends, let's pause here and comment on this. You know, I have been making videos about these LGBT issues in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But you know what? There are some Adventists who are saying that I am attacking the church. But you know, that is wrong. I am not attacking the church, but I'm attacking sin in the church. So we must speak up concerning errors, concerning sins that are creeping into our church. And friends, you know what? I totally agree with Elder Danny Shelton when he said, when we keep quiet or when we keep silent, we are as guilty as those who practice it or those who promote it. So we must not be silent when we see sin creeping into our churches. We must speak up. And when we do that, it doesn't mean we are attacking the church. It doesn't mean we are disgracing the church. It means we are calling sin by its right name. We are attacking sin in the church and not the church or the people in the church. You know something, friends? Let's go ahead and listen to another important thing shared by Elder Danny Shelton.
I can't wrap my mind around the fact that people who know the Bible so well would willfully compromise their biblical beliefs because of government funding and accreditation.
Did you hear that? Why would people compromise in the church? Why would some pastors, local church elders, and even conference leaders compromise in the church? Because of government funding, because of government accreditation, and because of other things coming from the government, coming from the federal government, especially in the US. You know, friends, this is the truth. The LGBT issues going on in the church or everywhere is also a business. It's some people's business. Do you know why it's a business? Because some people are paid to promote LGBT. Some people are sponsored, some institutions are sponsored to promote the agenda of LGBT. So there are some people who are benefiting from this promotion of LGBT. There are some people in the church who are benefiting. And must we be silent, friends? Must we be silent? So, friends, Elder Danny Shelton has spoken so well concerning these LGBT issues in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I think he spoke the truth. He spoke the word of God. He spoke God's mind. Hallelujah. The church, and I mean the Seventh-day Adventist Church, cannot affirm open sin, cannot affirm LGBT, because the church doesn't have the authority to affirm open sin. And I know there are some people in the Seventh-day Adventist Church who are trying to push, who are pushing for the affirmation of these evil practices in the church. But we are not going to accept that at all. I don't know what you think about these statements coming from Elder Danny Shelton. I don't know what you think about this, but you can share your thoughts in the comment section. Maybe you are in disagreement with what Elder said. You can let us know. But if you agree that we cannot affirm LGBT in the church, you can also let us know in the comment section. You can watch the full sermon on 3ABN's YouTube channel. I will put a link in the video description so you can check it out after watching this video. I only decided to share some sensitive part of the sermon with you and comments on them. Friends, there are some things going on in the church that you need to know, and it seems like people are silent concerning them. And also, the church-owned channels are not showing you. But we are going to show you all these things. We are going to show you both the good and the bad things that are happening in the SDA Church. And not in the SDA Church alone, but also in Christianity in general. So for more stories in Adventism, you can consider subscribing to this channel so you don't miss any video we publish. Thank you for watching. My name is Lawrence, and see you soon.